If you could see this headline, I'll just read it to you. This is from Business Insider. Walmart leadership is urging its 9,000 elite fleet truck drivers to buy cleaning supplies with their company cards amid coronavirus fears. Well, I want to talk with y'all about that. Because it's not just about the coronavirus, even though many companies are using that as the excuse this year. For cold and flu season, which is continuing all the way up until May, by the way. In some parts of the country. And in other parts it ends somewhere mid-April. But there are people panicking over colds and flu right now, and all their related viruses, including this one that's supposedly more serious. So, let me talk with you about this. Because a lot of people are getting scared about what happened in China. On this episode of Truckin' It, I want to discuss a couple things you need to have in your truck to make sure that you stay safe in the event that you get hit with this virus or get personally affected by it. And I'm not just talking about getting sick, by the way. It could also hit you economically as well, so stay tuned. Okay, so with all the talk and all the chaos and all the confusion about coronavirus, there's some things you could have done long ago that you still have the chance to do in order to keep yourself from getting sick or to minimize your chances of spreading your sickness to others. First off, if you feel sick, ever stay home. Like I'm doing right now. I'm just chillaxing on my couch filming this episode. I'm not even worried. Because I'm at home, I'm safe. I have plenty of disinfectant around. I'm actually doing a couple loads of laundry right now. And I want to tell you, that is one of the first things you want on board your trucks, to have clean clothes. Second off, small kit like this with some shower supplies and some essentials and some cleaning supplies is always a good idea to have on board your truck, no matter what. If you do suffer from allergies, colds, or any underlying health conditions, you are more vulnerable to the effects of colds, flus, and coronaviruses. So, with that in mind, you need to make sure to have a pack of Kleenex. Medicines like this Tylenol that I use for treating my runny nose, along with your prescription drugs and supplements. Food, get yourself a 2-week supply of food beforehand. Now, this means a normal trip to the grocery store. This does not mean hoarding all of what the stores have in stock. Don't buy 20 gazillion rolls of toilet paper or 50 packs of Kleenex. That would be enough for a big family for several more weeks than just the 2 that you're going to need. If you're going to be financially affected by this, now's the time to just look and see how much you have in your emergency fund. And I'm going to scare you into this, because credit cards are evil. They can cut off at any time. They have high interest rates, and they just aren't that good of a financial instrument for you to be using during an emergency crisis. An emergency fund with cash is your best bet. Now, this means things like checking accounts, debit cards, savings accounts. Use those as your instruments. $1,000 is the minimum amount you want to have in one of these accounts. Now, you can put additional money into the stock market, you can put additional money into retirement funds, but your urgent needs need to come first. And with a chance of you getting affected by this virus in 2 weeks, whether or not you like it because of your job, an actual emergency fund is your best bet. Now, some companies will offer you paid leave. If you have that, take it. If they don't offer you sick pay or paid leave of some kind, then talk with your employer about what their plans are for dealing with the economic implications of this virus. I know some stores have actually talked with their employees about it already. Walmart's issued a public letter, as I just was trying to show you earlier. I know I'm just using them as an example. Most of the other retailers are following similar policies, discontinuing free samples, and also helping people stay at work. Now, what is the most germ-filled thing in your truck? Well, here's a clue. It might not be your steering wheel. It might not be your seat. It's probably this. These phones are loaded with germs of all kinds. Now, some of them are treated with microban and other similar materials, but for the most part, you need to clean this at least every other day with a cleaning wipe. Use a screen protector and keep it in a good case, not just for protection of the device, but for protection of yourself as well. Disinfecting wipes. I think I got a can of them laying around right here. I use these quite often. I also use a duster quite often. I also use just some good old-fashioned cleaning supplies. Keep yourself about a week or two worth of those on board your truck as well. Some companies are reimbursing drivers for it, either by telling them to buy it with their card or by telling them to just get them. I tend to keep the stuff on board anyway, so I'm already prepared for that. What are some other things you want to keep on board of your truck then? Keep some extra food on board. I mean, a couple extra cans of soup and a couple extra cans of chili, a couple extra frozen snacks, that's not going to hurt you. That's going to help you. Because by having that extra food on board, you better your odds of being able to survive in the truck when you are sick. And then, lastly, take your time. You do not have to rush anything, and you do not have to hoard anything in this case. Don't be buying for the whole neighborhood. Buy the same amount you normally would. But in a non-emergency situation, because quite frankly, this is not an emergency. This is something that we've had weeks to plan for now. Especially when it was first hit in China. Which it seems like it's where all the pandemics start. Because I don't think they have adequate shower and toilet facilities. I have heard that their type of toilet might cause them to sit in their feces every now and then. And their hand washing protocol is not the same as ours. They're not the ones singing happy birthday in the bathroom. That's for sure. So, if you feel sick, stay home. And if you don't feel sick and don't want to be sick, take your time, take some precautions, stay away from the crowds, and just be ready as you normally would for any unexpected situation that you can handle. Because in the end, being ready is what this is all about. If you do happen to have to go to the hospital for whatever reason, because maybe this infection spreads or whatever, and makes you sick, just know you're going to be okay. And if you got health insurance through your employer, like I do, it'll cover a lot of the expenses, and it'll help you in the end. I want you all to stay safe and stay healthy out there on the road. So, let's make your best trip your next trip by making sure you're properly fed, that you don't get sick, and that if you do get sick, you have a plan to deal with whatever you're dealing with. And, by the way, if you have one of those pushy jerks for a dispatcher, let me know in the comments below, because I'm planning a dispatcher shaming episode sometime in the next couple of weeks. And dirty dispatcher tricks, I think that's what it's going to be called. And I want you all to know that making a driver run while they're sick is one of the dirty dispatcher tricks that's been around for years. And under FMCSA rules, that trick is illegal. Because a driver is not allowed to operate a motor vehicle while he or she is sick, per regulation. Therefore, I'll have to get you the rule number down in the show notes, but you can look it up. It's under the hours of service, which, by the way, is going through a major change right now, too. So, anyways, just stay healthy out there, stay safe out there. Bye for now.